Welcome back to, what are we officially calling this? The Let's Go Pod?
I don't know.
The Let's Go Podcast?
Yeah, that'll
Let's Go
work.
Coffee Podcast? Let's Go Podcast, guys.
Let's go podcast.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Let's
good.
Go Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. This is exciting. We are on location at Let's Go Coffee Company
Yes.
in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, in the Triangle. And if I may just say, I'm really excited about today's guests. We have Thomas and Hadley with us today
Hello.
on the Let's Go Podcast.
Let
I'm
all
so
the
excited.
class go. Woo.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
I kind of want to, yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. And I want to let the people know we have some local business owners with us today. They own an awesome business just a few doors down from us. And I was going to probably say more about it, but you know more about it than I do. So I'll let you guys just introduce yourselves, just so everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you do? All the things.
Yeah, so we own Board to Death Games. It's literally it's on this block, a couple buildings down. And yeah, it's a little retail board game store with a couple tables, and we do events a couple times a week, and we love to do events outside of our tiny 300 square foot space. So we do stuff like that here and other places around town. So
and it's mostly his.
Yeah.
It's fully his. I'm the helper.
it would not exist in the way it does today if it wasn't for the work that you put into it.
Oh,
So
thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, that
This
is
is right.
a great way to start.
Yes.
With a nice little compliment.
I mean, I have to ask, I'm sure you feel the same way. How did you get into this?
yeah, that's what I always ask.
That is the biggest pressing
Yeah.
question.
I
Oh.
want to ask. We will get to where you're from and all that, but I just have to ask, how did this begin?
That's
Where
a
did
good
it start?
question. Yeah, I mean, so I've been into board games and these video games, obviously, forever.
Sure.
Definitely during COVID was a huge. You're locked inside, and you only see a couple friends, maybe once a month, if ever.
Right.
So it was what can we do? We can stay inside and we can play board games. And so when I lived with my roommates for a while in college, we definitely played a lot of games. So yeah, during COVID was probably the biggest jump into this. And it was just a hobby. I was doing other stuff when we lived back in California. I wasn't in this field at all. I worked with kids on the autism spectrum as an aide. So this was not part of my career path at all. But it was when we moved to Pennsylvania, and it was just kind of wanted to restart. Didn't really want to stay in my field. I just kind of, and also it was everyone always says do something that you love, and I feel like people don't take that advice very often because it's hard to do
Yeah.
something that you love because
Yeah.
it's a lot safer to do something that pays
Yes.
or is secure.
Absolutely.
So I was just I'll try doing something. I'm young. If it fails, then I'll do something else. But yeah.
So originally West Coast.
Yeah, California.
Originally Hadley East Coast.
Originally here, but then moved to California when I was 8.
8. Okay. And what brought you there originally? Family?
To California, my dad's work.
your dad's work,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
She's I just moved.
Yeah, I just moved.
She got a
I packed up
job.
my bedroom. I was out.
She just the weather.
I didn't put it together. I was 8 years old. You would have moved with your parents, right? Makes sense. That's so funny. That's cool.
Logically.
That's fun. Okay, wonderful. But what part of California? All that. I'm curious.
Yeah, for you.
I grew up in the Bay Area in a
Bay
town
Area.
called Los Gatos, and then I went to college in Pasadena, and then we've been in Orange County the past few years.
Yeah, and I grew up in Sacramento, California, and then I also went to college in Southern California, and we both met when we were in college. But we didn't go to the same college. We just happened to
No.
live in the area.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What I find so interesting is that COVID changed so much for so many people.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how all this happened too, was during COVID as
Yep.
well. And so that's the same thing for you. I feel like so many people had these identity shifts in COVID, and they started thinking about things in a different way, and also just spending time with friends. And you're like, this is actually what I love to do.
Yeah.
Which is so fascinating because I don't think the world has been more frustrated than during COVID.
Yeah.
But then all of these new things come out of that, which is just really cool to me. So, and when I heard that there was a board game place moving down, which is it's 300 square feet. Is that what it is?
I think it's 350. Yeah, it's tiny.
Right. But it is packed with everything you would need. It's a great spot, and it's such a cool thing. And the only place that I would really have ever gotten a board game from would be Barnes and Noble or something,
Yeah.
right? There's
I've
not
gotten lots of them
actual
there.
board game stores.
There's not a ton, yeah. Well, there's a few. I mean, there's definitely it wasn't a total creative idea of mine. Like I
Sure.
am inspired by a lot of the stores that I went to in like high school and in
Sure.
my 20s and stuff
Sure.
like that. But I guess there aren't a lot. There's not a ton here. There's not.
So do you like specialize in a specific type of game or games or
Yeah,
something? Like what do you?
Definitely like tabletop board games. Like
Okay.
that's what I specialize in. And then like secondary is kind of like trading cards, like Pokemon and Magic.
Okay.
And then also like Dungeons and Dragons. That's kind of like the secondary, like not my main focus, but it's definitely there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is so fascinating. It's because honestly, like, and maybe you have a different definition of it, but for me, I've always found like board games to be very like family centric. Brings
Yeah.
people together. So in your case, friends, which in a lot of cases it's friends, but just
Yeah.
from my personal experience, it's like our family loves to get together and play board games with grandma and like
Totally.
bring card games, even like just kind of brings everybody together over like a dinner table. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, it's interesting, like maybe your perspective on that. I guess like it's really cool how you can like help people in that. It's something
Yeah.
that like I never would have, because everyone's what do they do? They just sit at a table and struggle over the rules,
Yeah.
right? Like, and you're like,
Most of the time.
you're like, can you do that? Play that move?
Yeah.
Like, like,
Yeah.
That's not how Uno works in my house.
A lot of the time, that is how it goes.
right. So it's like interesting that you kind of come alongside people and
Yeah.
help them. I don't know. It's
I
very
try to,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, the first thing I always ask people when they come into the shop is do they play a lot of board games? And then the most common response I get is when I can get people together to play board games.
okay.
Like every time it's
Yeah.
like,
So true.
I love to, I can never find people to do it. So a big part of
Interesting.
like my business was I wanted to create community space and people could find each other, and it would be a lot easier to find people that you could play games with and have fun with. So that was
Super
important for me.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then, if I may ask, how do you help here? But what is your passion? What do you? We were talking a little bit beforehand, but just like what do you love to do? Like, what's your thing? What do you do in general? But then, what do you love to do? Like, I don't know if would you say, do you have an equal passion for board games, maybe, or maybe not quite?
I have an equal passion for Wingspan.
Yeah, that's your
but
favorite
that's it.
What's
We have to
specific
play
game?
that one because I feel like I want you to answer the question, but really quick,
Yeah.
I'm like stuck in the 90s.
Okay.
Like the board games I grew up on are the only ones I still play. So like Clue, Scrabble, like
Yeah.
Stratego I played. Mall Madness was a huge one.
Monopoly,
Sure,
Not
yeah.
really, too long. But-
way too long.
Yeah,
It is.
Like
it's so long.
it is just so long.
It's not. There's better ones.
It's fun
out
when
there.
you get into it, though.
But
you know,
now
like,
there's like all these new games, so we can get into that.
Yeah.
But Wingspan, okay. So you like Wingspan, okay, and then
Love that.
continue.
Oh yeah, I'm an artist and illustrator, and I teach
Okay.
art.
wow.
So
love that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
your big passion.
passion.
And has art been a lifelong thing, you'd say?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like once I was in high school, I realized that's what I wanted to do, and I had a really good high school art teacher. Then I went to art school for college.
Cool.
So
What do you specialize in? Because I know there's a lot of different types of art.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
recently, I've been getting more into painting. Like
Okay.
originally, I thought I wanted to do more like freelance illustration, editorial stuff.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to do more of like a painting path with selling prints and stuff like that. But I
Nice.
also do love being an art teacher. It's so fun because
Yeah.
I teach kids. So I really
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I love kid art.
They probably love that too. It's so fun all the time.
Well, they can like be as creative as they want to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
what age are you teaching?
Elementary school.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They just have like the messy finger, everything, you know, like paint on their cheek, like everything. Yeah, it's the best. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. But it's again, it's another creative outlet. So both are creative. Like with board games, you're always going down the path of creativity, especially something like Dungeons and Dragons or
Yeah.
something that like requires that a little bit more thought outside of like rules. Oh, Life. I played a lot of Life too.
Another one popped
but
in. Yeah, that's cool.
but other than so like those are the only games that I still have. So now there's all these new games out and all these new types of things. And what I actually got asked recently, they were like, somebody asked me, they said, I really love playing board games. I just don't know how to learn new ones. And I said, I love that you guys teach
Yeah.
people how to play the board games.
Yeah.
And that's when we had our board game night here at the coffee shop. You did that. And that was
Right.
like, I think the best thing, because that's what I do. Like, I open a game and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to put this thing together,
Yeah.
let alone like how to play it. So that's really a unique thing, I think. Obviously, if you buy a board game from Barnes & Noble, no one's going to help you.
Yeah.
But you can offer to help somebody
Yeah.
and learn how to play it.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I always like to invite people to come back to the store too, and like I'm always willing to teach them a game if they buy it. Even if they buy it for me, if they just want to bring a game in and need to learn it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun because I think there's a big hurdle. People like they get a game they're really excited about, and they have like a 20-page manual to read through.
Right.
And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So-
And then while you're playing the game, all you're doing is slipping through it, trying to
Yeah.
find the rules and like figure it all out. And
It's
it can
true.
get frustrating. So
Mhm.
I
that's
always
really neat.
tell Thomas that I'm like so lucky because I never have to learn board games.
Yeah, so never have to read a manual ever again.
That's true.
Yeah, he loves it.
Do you
Thomas,
play a lot of board games together?
There's Wingspan.
Yeah, right now I only play Wingspan.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the number one.
He's like, yeah, I guess I just let her play Wingspan. We just play it all the
If I
time.
can get her to play something, I'm okay with it. So Wingspan's
we've-
our go-to.
I feel like we've slowly gotten more complicated. Like
Yeah.
Ticket to Ride was like our entry
Okay.
board game.
Yeah.
Well, but before that, we liked, like when we first started dating, he was like, "You have to come
Oh, yeah.
play Werewolf with me and my friends."
Yeah, it's like a social game where you're like on secret teams, and it's all about like lying.
Is that what you were playing?
Yeah, we were playing that
earlier?
here. We were
okay.
playing
Yes,
that
I
actually.
Similar to
remember.
code names, right? That's what
A
you.
little bit.
Was that kind of? No.
Yeah.
Was it Code- no, we said it was fake in it. Do you know the Jackbox TV games?
I know of them, but I
So
don't
we
know
had
all
those,
of
and
them.
there's
Yeah.
a game called Fake in It, and so
You basically
It's
have to
the same
figure out
thing.
who the
liar
faker
is.
is.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, but in this case, it's a werewolf or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so but this is it's not tabletop. It's like on a screen.
on a screen, yeah.
Yeah.
And your phone is like your device, and everybody has it. You have to
That's
kind of
cool.
figure out who the faker is in your group or whatever. So
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
super interesting.
Yeah.
That's
What
cool.
do you think? There's like, I don't know, just out of you're from your perspective, like maybe like a misconception about people who play board games and like that. I don't want to call it like like just like that group of people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Nerds.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think there might be a misconception about that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's a growing interest, and
It is.
like we get all different types of people into the shop all the time. Like we get kids, we get older people, we get couples, we get like, single people. I don't know. It's definitely not a monolith of an audience. It's a very different crowd. And I think probably like if you don't know about it, you probably imagine like I don't want to say anything rude here, but like like the,
Sure.
not wearing the deodorant and having the long greasy hair and playing Magic the Gathering with your Dorito fingers or something. That's like not that is like the South Park.
That's how it's
stereotype.
portrayed in every
Right,
sitcom
yeah,
and
that's
every
like-
place that you see it portrayed that way, but
Right,
it's not
right, right.
necessarily that person.
No.
So
Exactly.
I gotcha.
And I think I saw that honestly with our board game night. Like
Yeah.
it was something
Yeah.
actually. I remember we were behind the bar. You didn't even hear this because you were out here, but Tyler kind of like turned to me and he was like, "Man, this is what it's all about," And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, it's just something special about people coming together and like doing something that's like not life. Like it's like not like what I
Yeah.
mean, like not like real world. Like it's like you're not
Yeah,
yeah.
working. You're not like I don't know. Like I don't know something special about like you're coming and you're just playing a game.
Yeah.
It's very special, and he
That's
said
true.
it's like so special, and I got to really, literally see that, where like a bunch of strangers, people that like don't know each other, are literally like
Yeah.
yelling at each other,
Yeah.
laughing together, like
Yeah.
One point, I went to go get milk for the coffee shop, and she said that everyone like jumped out of their seat,
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah. That
No,
was
I
like
was cracking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll definitely like play more. I wasn't really sure like how
Yeah.
it was gonna go and stuff, but I was like, I don't know, I just get nervous because I get really easily frustrated. So if I can't figure it out, then I kind of put it away. So again, going back to like, I appreciate that you guys teach how
Yeah.
to play them because I'm like, I cannot figure this out. This
Yeah.
is way too complicated, and I don't have that kind of mindset. I can't I have like a terrible imagination. If that's what you want to come down
That's
to.
funny.
Like I'm like stunted in my imaginary life, I guess.
We don't believe that, right?
Yeah, we think everyone's creative.
we just had this conversation recently because we had another
Yeah.
friend who was like said that she wasn't creative, and it's like that can't
I
possibly be
think
true.
all people are creative.
Yeah.
Oh, for
there's,
sure.
And there's different types of creativity
Yeah, true.
too.
Right, exactly,
But
yeah.
yes, I agree. Like it's probably just an unused area of my brain, and I don't play enough board games, I guess. But
Yeah, but you do have
We'll
to
get
kind of
there.
like sit and do it.
Yeah.
like it's like
True.
in other words, that means everything else you're doing stops.
right,
I had that thought recently. Like I've been into this world of games like where I feel like I haven't been in the real world for a while because I've just been either playing games, learning about games, learning about like new games that are coming out, learning about old
Talking
games
about
that I haven't
games.
played. Talking like that's all my life is now, and I'm
Right.
like, whoa, wait, what's going on in the real world here? Like, it's a little weird, yeah, living in like a fantasy world. But
Yeah. So you had worked with children with autism, and then now you do this.
Yeah.
Do you like the change? Are you happy with the change?
Yeah,
Is it
I
still
like-
an adjustment for you a little
I
bit?
mean, it's nice to be your own boss. Like,
That's true,
it's
yeah.
nice to create your own schedule. I really liked what I was doing in my previous work, but it was very, a lot of bureaucracy. So
Okay.
a lot, like, I didn't, like, set the, like, lesson plan with the kids or anything like that. So I was very much just, like, following through with whatever I was told to do. And
Sure.
sometimes I didn't agree with it, but that's not my position. So yeah, I don't know. It was rewarding in like the moments that I was working with the
Yeah.
kids, and then it was over time. It was kind of like, I don't think this is where I want to be much longer. So that's why I didn't look for like a position like that out here when we moved, because
Sure. So you just went like full let's own a business route.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna like
I guess
figure
that's a
this
big
out.
jump, yeah.
Same thing.
pretty much.
It's brave. It was a
Yeah.
brave jump.
Whose idea was it?
I think
It was your
mine.
idea.
It was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like you've always
Conversation.
talked about it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
have?
I guess I have. I
Like it's
definitely
always
have.
been just like, oh, that would be cool to have a store,
Yeah,
a board game store.
specifically. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely started small, like my little spot over there. Like
Yeah.
I knew it would be manageable.
For sure.
And I was always telling myself, like, best case scenario, it becomes independent and I just am an owner and this doesn't take over my life. We'll see how that goes. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah.
I can understand that feeling.
Yes.
yeah.
Similar thing.
Speaking of life, I was going to ask you, like, what do you guys, like, outside of board games?
Yeah.
I was going to ask
And-
the same question.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
more than just an art teacher. You're more than just a board game owner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So other than playing Wings,
Wingspan.
Wingspan.
Yeah.
what do you guys do? What do you, like, what's your, like, you guys live nearby, obviously, but, like,
Yeah.
what do you guys do?
What do you do?
We have a cat,
Yes.
Oh,
There we
wait, say
go.
the cat's name.
spectacled flying fox.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and that's not our name. That's
That's her shelter name.
That's her shelter name. Her litter
But we
was
kept
all-
it.
Yeah,
That is-
yeah.
A wild shelter name.
I know.
How old is
Spectacle.
Yep.
Yeah, we call her
Spec.
Spec.
Spec?
Okay.
Yes, okay.
She's a little short.
She's a year,
We
yeah.
gave her my birthday because we didn't know what her
Yeah.
birthday was for sure.
Perfect. Love that.
So we celebrate
Perfect.
both birthdays. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
Yeah. So
I adopted my cat as well, and she has the birthday of the day that the place found her. That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
her
that-
birthday. They're like, she's about a year
She's been
old, so that's kind
reborn,
of like always
yeah.
been her birthday, but nobody really knows that either. So
She's still going strong.
that's pretty cool.
We
it's
think.
debatable. Yeah.
yeah,
right.
Depends on the day.
Sure.
She's
Yeah.
like 15 now, but it's fine.
She's old.
Okay,
That's
so she's
tough.
1.
Yeah.
That's fun. Do you guys like to do like outdoor activities? Do you like?
I'm gonna take her camping for the first time in her
Ooh,
life.
okay.
Probably soon, like this month. But
Yeah.
camping, we're gonna get like like a
little cabin.
so not really camping.
Glamping.
But it's gonna
Which
be
is
like
how I roll. So
Yeah.
I get it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
no bathroom, and if there's a TV in there, we're not gonna put it on.
Yeah, we're refusing.
Okay.
So because
There
we
you
wanted
go.
to do, I wanted to get like a tent and go camping.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's never stayed in a tent before. So
Yeah.
And I don't like bugs.
She doesn't like bugs, and
All right,
this
fair
place
enough,
has
yeah,
like it's
fair.
just like a bed in a shack. So
Great.
that's what we're going with.
So you can spend the time outside, have
Yeah.
a campfire,
Love that.
bring the
We
bug
like the
spray.
outdoors.
Maybe
Yeah.
good to go.
What about you
Do,
guys?
do we have a potential location? Or like, are we going out of state here, or like where
We're
do we?
staying in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's nice and local.
Yeah, I think it's like a little campground
So
nearby.
you are new to Pennsylvania, totally.
Me, yeah.
You are.
My first,
and
this will be
kind
my
of,
first
I
year.
would say,
yeah.
Hadley, you would be too, like only growing up here.
I would
little.
come like visit my family here,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
not super often.
Okay. So it
'Cause your
wasn't. It was
adult
like
life was over there. Really.
Yeah.
right,
Right.
yeah. So East Coast from West Coast. What's like the biggest difference? If somebody just said, "Tell us what's the biggest difference between West Coast and East Coast," like
Well, the weather is probably the first thing on my mind.
significantly worse than
Yeah.
California.
No,
let me tell you.
I like this weather.
Okay,
Honestly, yeah,
great.
we
Yeah,
both
me too.
agree
I love it.
That we
Yeah.
love the seasons. Like we
Yeah.
love to
Okay.
go on drives and like see how different the road looks than it did like 2 weeks ago. Like we
Yeah.
used to talk about that today.
Yeah,
Like
all
how
the
green it's
green.
gotten now.
Yep. I noticed that too the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, the green
Yeah.
finally
It's
came
really
back.
cool.
so.
Yeah, it's
It gets
vibrant.
crazy.
Yeah, especially after a good rain, and then it's nice and green. But-
Yes.
Okay, so weather.
And also the people. We've met really nice people out here, and
Yeah.
I think living in the area that we did, like Orange County, Southern California, I think people just kind of brush you off if they don't think that you're like valuable to them.
Okay.
Or like offer
Sure.
them anything.
Sure.
So we didn't make a lot of we wouldn't just make a lot of friends out there. To be
It was kind of
honest.
just us hanging out
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. So we've met a lot of really nice, welcoming people who were just like kind of feel like they want to get to know us, just to get to know us. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very like I would say maybe to some degree misconception of the East Coast, like Northeast specifically. A lot of people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's mean."
Yeah. That's what I heard.
There are those people. I mean,
Yeah.
everywhere. But yeah, I don't know, something about this area, this town. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I feel like I've heard it described as like people on the East Coast are just a little bit more blunt.
Yeah.
But like they're like genuinely like if you get to know them, they're gonna be like they're gonna have your back. People on the West Coast are gonna like act like they have your back, and then maybe not when the time comes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
I,
don't
feel
want
like
to. Yeah.
I
talk
know
too
we have
bad
great
about
people
it.
on the West
Yeah,
Coast.
we do have a lot of
but
good
it is
friends.
kind of like whenever someone says that like you make plans with someone, it happens here, and sometimes there it's like if something better comes along, they'll
Yeah.
take it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it does feel like
No,
that.
and this
It's
is
like
all
the mentality.
generalized, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Yeah.
gonna get that too. But
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, anything close to Philadelphia has a lot of loyalty. So
The
true.
those
Eagles.
Eagles fans are
That's true.
that's
the
true.
reigning champions.
Yeah.
They're pretty loyal people. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
for the most
Philly
part, but-
sports are a little crazy.
Yeah, I've caught on to that.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like hesitant. So I grew up, my mom's from Guatemala, my dad's from Ireland. So I grew up like first generation American in my family. And so people always ask me like, who's your team? You know, around here. And I was like, have you ever watched rugby? Like, you know, like, or
Oh,
like
yeah.
whatever. And like, so I asked them this, but like, I don't follow teams. I don't feel like I have a lot of time to do it, number one. But number two,
yeah.
I don't have a team really because, and
Yeah.
then now that Mandy and I are together, I'm kind of like, you know, Reagan like likes the Eagles and stuff and whatever, and I'm just like, I don't know, like the Phillies fans are like scary, you know.
Definitely.
Hopefully, I don't know, I offend anyone, but like, you know, it's just like not all of them, but
I think
I
that's
get
a
it. It's very
reputation for that.
generalized.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have a reputation
I
for
mean,
it.
there's like a jail in like
the
Lincoln
Link.
Park, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're like jumping off
Yeah.
of like street lights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I kind of love it though. I don't know. Like it was really fun moving here and then having the Eagles win and seeing like the
Yeah, you get that your first year.
Yeah, that's
People
pretty cool.
waited their whole life
know,
for that.
I
I mean, they
know.
won back in 2018, but
still, yeah.
Big deal.
but to
pretty
get
cool.
that again, that's a
It's
crazy.
like a very
Yeah.
special thing.
Crazy
It was
thing
cool.
for sure.
How's your take on the food?
That was the
difference?
first thing I thought of when you said,
actually,
"What's
yeah,
the
you're right.
biggest
Oh,
difference?"
okay.
The food.
Yeah.
I've always
in
noticed
what
that.
way?
It's a lot of like burgers and stuff.
A
Yeah,
lot of
it
burgers
is.
and
Yeah.
hot dogs.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's been an adjustment. We
It's hard
definitely
to find food sometimes.
it's been hard to find like good spots that make up for the spots that we liked in California. Like we had like good Thai spots, good sushi spots, stuff,
okay,
good Mexican
yeah.
spots. Haven't had a California burrito since I got here.
Yeah, that makes sense. We also don't have In-N-Out Burger either.
That's
yes.
it. And that was the
Oh my
first place I
gosh.
went to when I went back home recently.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime
That's
I
the
land
first place we go when we land anywhere
Yeah.
else on the West
anywhere
Coast.
west of Dallas.
Yeah.
It's Dallas
Right,
west.
right, right.
You go to In-N-Out, dude. I get myself.
Those animal fries,
Yep.
they're so good.
They're a little like over here. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, In-N-Out Burger!" Like, and when you go there, it's kind of like just part of life.
Sure, yeah.
But like, there's something so sweet and simple about like the freshness.
It's good.
Yeah.
The cheapness, honestly.
Yeah, it's not too
But the West
overpriced.
Coast doesn't have Wawa,
Oh, I love
has
Wawa.
changed a lot.
so it's like
Yeah.
there's give and takes
Give
on
and
the
take,
trade.
just give
You
and
know, you
take.
gotta like
It's true.
pick and choose what you get
It's
and
true.
each side of everything.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
it is.
true. But
That's
yeah, the
all of it.
Mexicans better, obviously. Mexican
Yeah.
food, the fish, I would say, like
Yeah.
Oh
sushi,
yeah, on,
stuff
the,
like
on the
that.
coast for
if you're
sure.
into that. That's cool.
But it's still been good. We've got some good spots here.
Yeah.
The hoagies are good here.
Oh yeah,
We
definitely.
like Yakos occasionally.
Oh my gosh.
That's you're really in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a true Pennsylvanian saying
know.
how much they love Yakos.
So when we first came to visit, she was hyping up Yakos and like telling me that it was like the spot that her family loves to go to.
Right.
And then she takes me there and I'm like, this is the spot. This is
The pierogies.
The pierogies are good, but they're also just they're frozen. They deep fry them. It's like we don't make them back
That's
there.
the magic.
The magic.
That's the selling point.
Yeah,
It's a
the
good deep
magic's
fryer.
in the deep fryer.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I'm actually
That's
like, I'm like not the biggest Yakos guy ever, but like I will go here and there. But it's such
Yeah.
a Pennsylvania, like this
Yeah,
area thing,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but it is
understandable.
literally frozen. Pierogies. Like it is comical actually, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can hype it up too. I've had people that have come here and whatever. I usually hype up Wawa. That's usually what
That's
I.
fair. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
A lot of West Coast
Yeah,
friends of mine have been like, so you go to a gas station to eat food, and I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
Circle K, like it's not, you know.
Yeah. It's not.
But it's
7-Eleven.
not. But it's not Buc-ee's.
Well,
Which
Buc-ee's.
is its own
Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's before?
No.
in
Different
the
breed.
That's like a
I've heard of it.
Midwest,
country
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Texas.
It's like Costco and Walmart meets
and Cracker Barrel.
and Cracker Barrel meets Wawa, basically.
Yeah.
Massive, insane,
Yeah.
everything you can imagine.
100 gas pumps. It's like
That's
ridiculous.
awesome.
It's actually terrifying, but it's good.
Yeah. Anyway, I had a question. Oh, my question was like, why would you want to go into business ownership? Really? And as
Yeah.
opposed to like a hobby, find like an, like find a paying job, like
Yeah,
all of us
yeah.
know as business owners, it's not as glamorous as
Yeah.
people think it is.
Right.
So like to go into a business ownership, like what made you decide to do that?
Maybe I didn't know what I was doing. No.
Okay.
No,
Fair.
no.
Yeah.
I
Same
think I
here.
wanted, I think I wanted to start my own thing. I think like moving here was kind of a huge adjustment, and I think I was just ready to like take a leap, I guess. And yeah, it had always been on my mind to like start a business or do something on my own. I think I work better when I'm motivated by like growing something on my own that like
Yeah.
I will value.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way you can really do that, unless you're getting paid like 6 figures somewhere, is by owning the business yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So that's just how I felt. And then we also weren't like, I don't know. Yeah, moving out, it felt like the right thing to do. Like we're coming out to a spot where retail space is like probably half, if not less than that, the cost like per square foot. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, I've been thinking about doing this in Southern California where it's ridiculously expensive. Why wouldn't I do this here now?
Right.
Mhm.
Do you have any business experience?
No, I've got
like
zero.
either one of you
I didn't
having
even take
it?
a business class in college.
Great.
I'm a psychology
Yeah.
major.
Oh, perfect. Even better.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
That's great.
But I feel like the internet makes it pretty easy to learn things these days.
Chat GPT.
Yeah,
everything.
YouTube,
definitely.
man, you know?
Yeah, YouTube, yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
like you can make an LLC in like an hour or two.
Yeah.
So true.
So you have to like obviously restock the
Mm-hmm.
basic needs. So your business is very different than my business, which is
Yeah.
very different than his business. So like what's like a normal week look like for you guys? Like you have to restock board games, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there like
Yeah.
there's always little things. I get like the nitty gritty parts of it all.
That's cool.
For me, I have to deal with shelf life and like how long stuff
Oh,
can be
yeah.
around and like food going bad and
That makes sense.
a
yeah.
lot of there's so many things like in a baked good there's 6 ingredients or something
Mm-hmm.
like whatever it is, so it's like there's so many different little pieces to it that overwhelms me a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But like so I'm like envious of people like you guys. I'm like, you don't have to like there's no shelf life on
It
a
can
board
just sit
game.
on my
Like,
shelf
it can
for a
stay there
while,
forever
and
and you're like,
yeah.
someone will
just,
buy it someday.
Dusts it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but,
I
like,
do that. Yeah.
and it's like the right person is going to come and buy that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like board games. You have to. How do you like find what board games to stock?
That's been the
and,
hardest
like,
part. Yeah.
Like how much to buy?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's popular? What do people buy first?
Yeah.
Like what's kind of like the business that you've learned on that?
Yeah, it's been a lot of just like kind of go with the flow and like learn from experience. Like the hardest part has definitely been like learning about games that I didn't already know were going to be coming out soon, that other
Okay.
people are going to be excited about, that I might not have been excited about. I have to like anticipate kind of what
Okay.
the market's going to want.
So do you like follow that through like social media, or is there like a board game?
I like follow a lot of like the publishing companies, like the
Okay.
big publishing companies that make the games.
Okay.
Sure.
And then I follow through like my distributors, who I work with a few of those. Like they're pretty good about like calling you up and letting you know that this game is coming out and a lot of other people are putting pre-orders in, and maybe you want to put a pre-order in. So that makes my job super easy. I'm like, yeah, okay, if you're telling me to do that.
Right.
I'd say like the most complicated part has been like like I said, like knowing what to pre-order, and then also quantity, knowing like how many
Yeah.
I need, because like there's been times where I get like 6 games and then they're gone in like the first week. Finspan was like that, which was the Wingspan sequel, but it's fish, not birds.
Maybe better.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
people say maybe it's better.
Wingspan? Oh my
yeah, I got
gosh,
like
that's crazy.
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Crazy.
I got a case of that. I thought it would last me like a month or two, and it was gone in like the first couple of days. So.
That's
oh my
great.
gosh.
So then that's like a learning experience. Like now I know to get like triple what I thought I
Right.
needed. Yeah, it's not that hard because, like you said, I have space. I have like a storeroom, so if I have excess of stuff, it's not going to go bad. I'm
Right.
not worried about it going
Right.
bad. I'm only worried about it losing interest, I guess, and like people
Sure.
not wanting to pick it up. But
People always, it like circles back around. I feel
Yeah.
like it's kind of like music and like other trends that kind of, they'll come back if it's something that didn't go
Yeah.
there. And I don't know, you never know. That right person's going to come in there and be like, hey, do you have that game?
it's true.
Do you want it?
Yeah.
But that's so interesting to me. So it's like another world, like learning what's coming out, what is new.
And knowing
Yeah,
how
I'm
much
like thinking
to
about
get.
allergies all the time. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like what do people like? And it's a seasonal thing,
Sure.
you know, Christmas and
Yeah, you're serving
it's like-
food also, so it's
Yeah.
like people are gonna like judge based off the ingredients you decide to put in, and it's like
Yeah.
for me, like I don't actually make anything.
True,
Which sometimes
yeah.
makes me feel like I'm a bit of a scam, or like I'm like not a real business owner. Like,
You're
I'm
like,
just
I'm
a
not
middleman.
qualified for this, yeah.
Like I'm not really
Yeah.
like providing any additional service besides like telling people what I'm into and teaching them about
Sure.
what is popular out there, and like it's just like getting it closer to them is all I'm doing.
yeah.
But yeah,
Professional distributor.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But you also are like a good community space.
Yeah, that's
And-
the main focus, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And people love coming in and just seeing board games.
Yeah, that's true. People and like talking about it, and
Yeah.
that's why like I want to get a larger space someday and prioritize more of like the community building and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think you're doing a great job at all of that with like the Yergi Nights,
Yeah.
the brewery, local
Yeah.
brewery, like doing that with board games here. I'm sure you have other events that we aren't even aware of, and then you
Thinking about
do
it.
have your like your regular weekly nights that people come in and learn. And I know when we had the board game night here, someone was like, "Oh, so you at Commander Night or something?"
Oh,
and they were
yeah,
like walking
yeah.
away, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, they already got it on their calendar. They're like ready to go." You know?
See you at the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
see you at
really
the
cool.
next stop, which is great. And I know it, like for us too, I met in where our location used to be before, there was like the Path of Farmers, which is similar, I guess, in a way to you guys. So it was like the farmers grew everything, and then somebody had to sell it for them. And so that was like their job, their role. That's how they got paid. So yes, they were the middleman. They didn't do the
Yeah.
farming, but they had a very important job because that paid the farmers.
Yeah.
So, you know, in a way, it's kind of like you guys do, like being
Yeah.
these distributors. And being in a small town, having a small town vibe, having a more personal connection. People love like talking to you. I'm sure they want to meet you, and they find comfort in knowing that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, like if it's a new game or something. I know that can make somebody feel really comfortable and want to go and buy from somebody that like they can learn from and grow with, instead of like just a random shelf
Taking a leap,
at,
yeah, I getcha.
at a store or something. So I love that. So what would be the future? So you said you wanted to get a larger location at some point. What would be
Yeah.
like the future for both of you? Like, do you want to, how do you want to stay in art and like kind of keep it separate? Do you want to like work together? Do you want to just kind of keep figuring it out? You have no plans. You have no idea. You're kind of like, it is what it is. It's a West Coast thing, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
it is.
I want to stay in art, but my favorite thing is decorating the store. So
Oh, yeah.
if he moves to a bigger location,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get to
true.
decorate that. It's separate. I just help out sometimes. I like talking to the customers in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we have a pretty good balance at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
like I just call on her when I need like, hey, could you help me out on the blackboard here? Like, I need some. The logo needs a retouch or something like that. Or
Yeah.
can you help me with an Instagram post? But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, you got your own thing going on for you. So, so
I was gonna ask about that. We talked off camera, but I wanted to ask on camera. I'm a social media guy, so I
Right.
took notice to like some of the posts you guys put up. And I was like, we both said, we're like, oh, they got a little social media stuff going here. And so I was gonna ask you, like, is there a background in that for you, or like is there a reason why? Because it is like good, like you guys like made some nice posts and like it's like actually really great stuff, and I just was like, I didn't know if you have like interest in that or a passion for it, a background or whatever.
I post weekly YouTube videos about art.
Okay, perfect.
So that's how I got my editing skills.
There you go.
Oh, I love
Nice.
that. So you
Nice.
edit your videos together yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does all of it. She
That's
films
awesome.
it in the house and edits it and gets it all up in a week. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I've been doing it for like a year now.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
like doing it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what your YouTube?
Oh, it's my
Yeah.
name, Hadley Queen.
We can put it in the description of the video.
yeah, we can put it in.
For
Is
sure.
it
Thank
Hadley
you.
Quinn art? Or
No,
is
it's
it-
just Hadley
oh.
Queen.
And so he kind of described earlier as like a vlog about reviewing art. Would you
Yeah,
say?
it's like my art, other people, like a lot of art books. Those are like my favorite things to talk about sometimes. My inspirations.
Sure. It's almost
Yeah.
like a video diary,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, I like that.
Of art.
My art progress.
I love that.
My
Yeah.
favorite of your videos are when you go to like a museum or you go somewhere and you like capture like what you liked at the museum and you do like a little sketch sometimes.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite of your videos.
Thank you.
Usually because I'm the cameraman on stage.
Then you're behind the camera for her. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
right. Yeah, that's so funny.
I love that.
It is really unique because I know. So for me, my background is in music. So
Oh, cool.
music and musician and creativity in that aspect. I'm like I can't draw more than a stick person. So like. Same thing with board games. It's like, and so like it's interesting because there is creativity involved in owning a business and coming up with different ideas and staying like on top of what games are coming out and all these things, plus like your artwork. And so it's like you're always kind of trying to think of things to either like a new collaboration or a new idea or a new reel, or sometimes it's just simple things. So there is that element of creativity. So it's like every time we meet different business people, it's like there's happens to be some kind of creative background in there. Tends to be a lot of the time, not always, but it tends to be that way, again depending on the business and stuff. But I don't know, for us, we've talked to a few people and it's like even coffee, like the background of coffee is art. It's the latte art, creating it,
Yeah.
building it, like handcrafting it. Baking is all creative and it's all like putting things together and coming up with ideas and trying something new and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And like, so even our whole staff here is all creatively minded. And then, but we're all very different too. So some of them crochet and some of them draw and some of them don't do any of that. Stuff like, you know, one plays Dungeons and Dragons and like they
cool.
all just like have their own element, but it always seems like there's some kind of creative outlet. So I don't know, I like piecing all that together. Like both of us have music backgrounds, and so
yeah.
What do you guys do for music?
So I used to play in a band. We used to tour, and it was a very
sweet.
heavy metal band.
Okay, cool.
No singing, all screaming.
Mosh pits every
Dude,
time.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a good time. And we used to tour. It was like we were on a couple different did like a couple like Warped tours and stuff like that, like
Nice.
different events. And did a lot of East Coast stuff, but it was really cool. And I did that at a really young age, and then I got eventually into like the church scene, and I started just helping on like church teams and stuff, and played
cool.
drums and guitar and bass and singing, whatever was needed, really. So that was, and I did that for years. And
Nice.
then until I kind of more seriously got into business several years ago, just due to
That's cool.
happenstance and stuff. That I decided to kind of take a deeper dive into that. But she has a really interesting
Yeah.
background in music too.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't read music, and I don't know how to not read music.
Oh,
So,
Right.
so I grew up classical piano and classical musician, and then I went to college for music therapy. So I did
Oh, that's
music
so
therapy,
cool.
Nice.
and then so I had to learn how to not read music and
That
read
makes
chord
sense.
charts and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
that was fun in college, and it was fine. You know, it's eventually it's a little easier. I feel like it's easier to kind of go that way than it is to like learn how to read music after you learn how to play by ear. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have never been that way, but like kind of learning through that. So yeah, I mean, I played in community bands and I was a music therapist, and then I played on worship teams and stuff at church too. So
That's awesome.
did a little bit of that, but again, it's like that avenue of creativity. So it doesn't surprise me that we sit down and learn you like art and like you like
Yeah.
video games and board games, and like those all have a sense of fantasy and wonder to
Yeah.
them, and then we all just kind of like make business out of that
Well, it
Yeah.
is
and figure it out as we go along. It's like what you said. We're like, yeah, we'll figure it out. It's fine. So
It is actually very unique though, because I have found So my mentor years ago told me, he said, Pablo, if you can find what you love in life and then find a way to make a living doing that thing,
Right.
that's super cool. And like, it's possible, right? But like, I would say, to your point, there is a lot of creatives that are creative and good at these things, but they don't know how to like make a business out of it, you
Yeah.
know? And just because you make a business doesn't mean you need to make a bunch of money. Like, you could just like pay your bills and like live comfortably or whatever that looks like for you. But it is interesting that, you know, just like all of us kind of have like a creative something, you know, like I love doing video. It's kind of has creativity to it. The coffee, the baked goods, like the art, and then the board games. It's really interesting. It's all creative stuff, but like it just happens to be how we also live, make a living, you know?
That's cool.
And so I don't know, I just find that to be fascinating because sometimes people don't typically make that connection.
Sure, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
They kind of just like, oh, I freelance, or like it's on the side, you know, but like you could totally like make a living, you know, like that's something I want to help more people do
Yeah.
in my space for sure, because I know there's a lot of people that have cameras, you know, and they're always like, oh, you know, I freelance, I do it on the side, you know, but they work at like Target, which is fine. But I'm like, man, you could like replace your income and like make a living, and like somehow it's worked out for me. It's possible for anyone to do it. So it's interesting that even to the board game point, like you love gaming and you made a business out of it. Like, what the heck? That's cool.
Just went for it. I know, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And then for her, I always found it interesting. She actually did a lot of like end of life music for people. Hospice, was it?
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I always found that to be really interesting. How like I never knew that was a position. I didn't know you could get paid for that. Like that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, there's people in this space in art too that like make like some good money, you know, living off art. Like not everyone, you know, everyone in every space, but like there's a lot of people that, I don't know. There is something interesting about that creativity merging with the way you make a living, you know. It's interesting.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
But it's all at the end of the day, it's like doing what you love, which is really, that's inspiring for me, like to hear, like you love gaming, you love art, and it's like
Yeah.
you're doing what you love. And I worked at End of Life. And if you listen to our other podcasts, I talk about it a little bit more, but everybody at the end of life would always say that they wish that they spent more time with their family or doing something that they loved or more experiences. It was never like, I wish I worked harder. I wish I had more money. I wish I had more cars. I wish I had a bigger house. Like that was never what people would say. And so I personally love and really like encourage and want to like support people that do what they love, because there's so many people that work in jobs and they hate it. And it's like, oh, it's just another day, you know? And while not every day is perfect, like I have had plenty of days I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then there's plenty of days where I'm like, this is awesome. I do get to make my own schedule and do what I love and come up with new ideas and be creative while also making a living doing it. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Super happy for you guys. It's a really fun thing.
I appreciate it.
How long did you do the music therapy for?
I went to college for it, and then so I did like all of my field work in there, and then I had done a few other jobs because I was not local and I didn't have job opportunities. Then I went back into music therapy, and I did it for like about 5 years until I kind of came to a place not unlike where you were, Thomas, where I was like, I just feel like there's more to this than it's a very isolating job as a
can see
music
that,
therapist.
yeah.
You're working by yourself. So I didn't really have anybody else to like bounce ideas off of or do anything. It was kind of all my own. And for me personally, I just went through like a really difficult time, and being by myself was not a great option. So I decided to kind of come out of that and find something else. So I found a different job that had more of a community and people and things like that. But I played for lots of funerals and just like watched people at the end of their life, and I was inspired by a lot of these people. And when it was the end of their life and they are we good?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm just adjusting.
When they were at the end of their life, they like it was just so fascinating to watch that time. It's a very sacred time for a lot of people. I
can imagine,
like
yeah.
really emotional, very delicate for people going through it, and also for like the person passing away, but also family members too. And so that really had changed my perspective on a lot of things too. And so, you know, I kind of pull that with me all the time, and I say it to him. I'm like, you literally get one life. Like you cannot wait.
Yeah.
Like nobody regrets the trip going camping for the first time. Like go and do it. Like no, like that's literally why we're Let's Go. It's like go and do something and go and try something new, because like life is really short and you only get one. So it's, you know, it's like, it's really encouraging and it's really inspiring, like I said, to like have you, both of you doing something that you love, and you're both young too. Like we're all young, so we're all like
Yeah.
trying to figure it out, but having 4 people sitting here that all do what they love, maybe not every day is perfect, we all get that, but like doing that is really special.
Yeah,
I
just
think.
trying.
And so,
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Before we close things out, I have 2 more questions, but I did want to ask number 1. I love the way you guys dress. So the
Thank
style.
you.
Yeah.
What did Tyler call it? Sauce.
Sauce.
The sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, there's sauce. What was the other one? And then there's just like the way he dressed. I forget what it is, but he says
Yeah.
you guys have sauce. The
We
sauce.
keep
Appreciate
talking
it.
about that, but I get it wrong every time, and I
thought it
keep
was
telling
drip.
Thomas, no, I say juice. I keep saying
got the juice. Perfect. Well,
Yeah, I got squeezed.
whatever juice you guys have, you gotta go. But it's an interesting style. I've always found style to be an interesting like expression of yourself, to some degree, right? Like you know, and whatever that means. So, because you have like a West Coast vibe a little bit, but like at the same time, it's very like artsy and like you know. So like I don't know. Is
Yeah.
that something you guys like love to kind of like do?
Do you want to talk about that?
we're both wearing my grandparents' old clothes
Yeah.
right now.
That's pretty much what
Yeah.
it is. I mean,
So
Yeah, Thomas
Yeah.
wears
Crazy.
like all of my, probably grandma.
mostly grandma. I got grandma
See,
drip.
my grandma loved birds.
Yeah.
So we have
Oh
the
my
bird
gosh.
shirt,
Dude,
and then my
no
grandpa's
way.
old
Yeah.
flannel, and this is my grandma's old sweater.
Yep.
Wow,
but like, what?
dude. I'm
This
telling
is
you.
Old Navy. I think I've had it for like 8 years at this point.
This is from a thrift store, I think.
Yeah.
The black T-shirt.
The black tee, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I just go get T-shirts that stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think most of my T-shirts are from thrift stores or from
My grandparents.
Bradley's grandma.
We've been slowly accumulating them.
Yeah.
Like, from when we came to visit before, we were getting a bunch of stuff, and then
Yeah.
like my mom would come visit, and she would bring back a bunch of T-shirts.
Oh my gosh.
And now we just have all of them.
Yeah. But
So,
appreciate it.
I
Thanks.
love that.
other than
That's
grandma's
amazing.
closet,
Yeah.
where do you guys shop for clothes, if ever? Like, where do you guys
Thrift
like to go?
stores.
Yeah, it
Thrift stores.
sounds like mostly. I think thrift stores. I mean, I get a lot of like my new stuff from
LL Bean, you love LL Bean.
or like
Yeah.
Patagonia. I don't know. Like I like quality stuff that'll last me a while. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy something new, I want it to like last me years.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure, for
it's
sure.
worth the investment when it's going
Exactly,
to last
yeah.
you forever. So
You gotta go camping if you're going to
And
LLB.
then
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
and then I
exactly.
can wear my fleece to the cabin. Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't
I love
know.
it too. Again,
love
I'm
it.
just like not creative. I just am like, yeah, whatever's in the closet.
Yeah.
He has more shoes than I do. That's like just realistic.
Yeah, I
so.
wear my Vans a lot though. You know,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
this is like the most West Coast part of me. I feel like
Yeah, it looks very West Coast with the Nike
Vans
socks.
with
Yeah.
the side socks up. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
my,
that's
it's my
cool.
only claim to fame with West Coast.
So that's what Tyler said in the other
Yeah.
episode. He was like secrets in the sauce. and then you guys walked in on the board game night. Actually, it was when we
Was
like
that
recorded
night?
the
Yeah.
episode with him. He's like, they see sauce, and I was
Yeah.
like,
The secret of the sauce is grandma's closet.
yeah, there you go. But there you go with the board games. Like it's gonna come back around. So if somebody doesn't buy the board game that time, they're gonna come back for it another time. It's all a big circle. So
Yeah.
all right, well you guys are awesome.
You guys
Yes.
too. You're
Probably
awesome, too.
why.
I was gonna just ask
Oh, you had a second question.
a second question. Yeah, well, just to kind of help like close this out, like where we kind of heard like where you guys came from, where you guys are at, where are you headed? Like, where's Thomas and Hadley going? Where is like Board to Death games going? Like, where? Like, I know you kind of like just moved in here, like
Yeah.
around the same time we did
Uh-huh.
too, with Let's Go. But
Yeah.
where? Like, what's the future look like for you guys? Like, where are you guys headed, and what are the plans? I guess.
We're staying in Pennsylvania. So I don't know.
And
Yeah. You'll find us in the woods or you'll find us in the store, I guess.
maybe
That's awesome.
another cat eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But not for a while.
Yeah.
Speckled.
Oh, we just got a turtle too.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're building a zoo.
We're building a zoo.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. I
that's
don't know,
amazing.
Love that.
We're really happy being a part of the community here. I think I'm going to do everything I can to just keep building and growing here.
Yeah.
So
Emmaus really needed it. Emmaus needed a
Oh.
coffee shop, and Emmaus
Yeah.
needs like other things to do.
Yeah.
So I think that was like a great addition.
Mhm.
Super awesome, super fun. Hope you guys do amazing there.
thank you. You too.
And
For sure.
so, yeah, we're excited.
I had one more funny story before we
Great.
close, if that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Please.
I've been wanting to tell you guys for a while. We toured this location when we were looking for
Oh,
businesses.
really?
too.
Did you?
No way.
Okay.
but it was way too big for us.
There you go.
So we
Nice.
saw
It's a little big for us.
It's a little big for us too. Yeah. We're like,
yeah.
You guys
okay.
did a good job because we got to see the before.
Yeah, so I know
That's
what it looks
true,
like.
yeah.
It
You
looks
saw
like
it
in
before,
here,
that's
yeah.
cool.
So this is a lot better than the crazy
The
gun
shelves.
shelves that were here. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We could still do board game nights here. You know,
That's right. Yeah.
We have one coming
Just
up. We're
combine.
excited about.
Yeah,
And then before
exactly.
we close out, last thing, where can people find you guys? Like, so whether it be Instagram handles, YouTube, whatever,
Social media.
yeah, social media. Just like generally, where can people find you guys?
Bored to Death Game
Board to
Store.
Death. Yeah, that's our website at boardtodeathgamestore.com, and that's our Instagram handle. They can find you at Hadley Queen on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, and they shouldn't
Yeah.
find me because just find the store.
Just fine.
I'm probably there.
It's fine. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
tag all of that below, and everybody can kind of check it all out. Follow you guys and hang
Sweet.
out and listen. And next time you're in Emmaus,
Yeah, come through.
stop by at the board game place,
Yeah.
grab a cup of coffee, say hi to all of us. See all of us in one shot.
Yep.
That's right. It's been awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
for
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
It's been a lot
Of
of fun.
Let's Go Coffee, another podcast complete. We'll see you in the next one.